Right, welcome back everybody. Hope you've enjoyed the last few videos. And I was going to do a slightly different video today, but the weather is absolutely horrendous, so I'm not doing that. So instead, I'm going to share my thoughts to you as why I believe South Africa is one of the most diverse fly fishing destinations in the world. And that is to do with the fact that we have a huge variety of geography and waters that allow us to do saltwater, freshwater game fish, and trout. And to get a better understanding, we need to go a little bit back in history to when fly fishing in South Africa first started. And that is in the late 1890s, when some settlers from Scotland looked at the streams and rivers around Moy River and Bushmans in the Drakensberg in KwaZulu-Natal and thought this looked remarkably similar to home. So what they did, they brought some brown trout eggs over from Loch Laggan in Scotland, and through some experimentation, successfully got the trout established in the rivers. From there, the trout then spread to the Eastern Highlands, where I am in Dalstrom, and down to the Eastern Cape, to their highlands, like Rhodes and Berkeley East, that area. And within a few short years, brown trout were established in most of the high-lying rivers in South Africa. From there, this led to a conversation of, well, maybe we can then introduce rainbow trout, the more feisty and faster-growing American cousins, which again took some experimentation, and eventually got to the point where we now have domestic breedings for both brown and rainbow trout, and both are stocked very, very regularly, and many anglers spend many days chasing them. But what this then later led to was the discovery of South Africa's other waters that are present for fly fishing, mostly from the 1970s onwards, when South Africa started to take a more Americanized approach to flies and techniques such as using nymphs, dry flies, and woolly buggers, which were then tied and adapted to patterns that are more successfully locally. And today, as present, South Africa has a huge network of trout waters across the country that use local patterns and some freshwater game fish such as African pike and tigerfish in Lake Jazini in Pongola and in Zululand, northern KwaZulu-Natal, which are some of the best freshwater game fish you can catch. They bite like you cannot believe, they go like the clappers, and they are extremely fun to fight. And that's not to mention your saltwater options, down on the western and southwestern coast, where we have a lot of saltwater estuaries where you can go for grunter and lerry, or what we call garrick, would you know the name as. And what this also Americanization led to was the adaptation of American saltwater flies for our freshwater game fish, such as a Klauser minnow is now some of the most successful flies used for tigerfish, in different colors to what they would traditionally be, and in a different manner to what they are traditionally tied as, but it's still fundamentally a Klauser minnow, which works phenomenally well. And what this has led to is, because of this diverse, multifaceted, multidisciplined style of fly fishing that South Africa has to contend with, it has led to us producing some of the best fly fishing anglers and fly tying experts anywhere in the world that are able to take these well-used techniques globally and adapt them to local waters, or even come up with techniques that are used locally and then export them to similar fish across the continent and across the globe. Like now, if you go up further into Africa, into Botswana, Zambia, or even Tanzania to taste tigerfish, you're most likely going to be using flies that again have been adapted to local conditions, but were originally created in South Africa to chase tigerfish in Lake Jazini. And I just thought that was an interesting point to share. Hope it gives you some guys' insight. And maybe next time you're thinking of a fly fishing holiday and you don't want just one style of fish, rather come to South Africa for a couple of weeks or however long and be able to chase a number of different species across a number of different disciplines. That's all I thought you guys would appreciate. Just a little bit of local insight that I thought you would enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.